Hey you guys, it's me Gemstone. I hope you're doing really well. This is the reading for Pisces. So let's see what's showing up for you guys this week. And please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, and to press the bell. Okay, so Pisces, for you, you have the Dragon, Strength and Wisdom, with hindrance. Fate has blocked this path for you. With the Wolf, beware who you trust. Oh, that's interesting. So basically, Strength and Wisdom. I think these cards are kind of speaking of, with the Strength and Wisdom card, it's almost like there was something that you were certain of. Certain was going to work, certain was right for you. Felt that maybe you knew enough about this, whatever this is. Maybe it was an opportunity you thought you knew enough about, a course you thought you knew enough about. But I feel like you've committed yourself to something that you were certain of at one point, but then it's like it didn't work out quite how you expected it to or how you wanted it to. But it's something that you really desired because you had the strength to do it. And you may have felt like you had the wisdom, to do it, like you had the knowledge to do it. So it's kind of saying that, and it's the Dragon card. So what does the Dragon feel like for me? The Dragon is, well, dragons are usually associated with protection, more than anything, protection. So I kind of feel like maybe there was some projects or something that you were working towards that you were very protective of. Maybe if people even told you, maybe you can't do it, or maybe this isn't right for you. Like maybe people questioned you and you were still quite determined and set in your ways to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do regardless of what people say. But then it's like that pathway for some reason has been blocked. Like there's obstacles that have been put in your way. So it's kind of saying that maybe another route has to be taken. Maybe that opportunity or whatever you was doing wasn't quite for you really at that time. And then the beware who you trust card is kind of saying maybe certain people, again, maybe certain people may have told you not to do it. Maybe those people came from a very caring place, but maybe you just didn't want to hear it. But then there might have been other people that maybe encouraged you to do it. And maybe they may have had not the best of intentions for you. Like they may have maybe knew that it wasn't the best thing, or knew that maybe they knew they knew maybe more about the situation than you did, or maybe they were just looking at it from a different perspective. Like maybe because you were very optimistic about it, you just wanted to continue on with it anyway, whereas maybe other people were saying differently, or maybe other people were just encouraging you just to be encouraging you, but not really out of like giving you the best advice. To be entirely honest, in situations like that, I feel like we have to make our own mistakes. We have to make our own path in this life. I know there's plenty of mistakes I've made where people have told me, don't do this and don't do that, and I did it anyway. And to be entirely honest, I think that that's what you have to do in life, because that is the process that we all go through. We all have to learn. And so the only thing I would say is, obviously we don't want it to end up being something that, affects someone's life like in a horrible way, or affects our lives in a like really dramatic, terrible way. But then at the same time, I think that, it's like that's the process of just growing up, and that's the process of life in general. And so don't feel bad, or don't feel like it's a wasted experience because maybe you did something and you wasn't successful in doing it. It doesn't mean that you're never going to be successful at it. It could just mean that this time just isn't the best time for it. It could be that as well. But even if it turns out in the long term that it isn't something that comes to pass or comes into fruition for you, just know that that experience is still valuable, because it will still teach you something, either about yourself, about a person, about the industry maybe you're trying to go into. It will teach you something that you'll be able to take away from the situation and be able to not make the same mistake again, So yeah. And then it says the Knight, triumph over adversity. So it kind of feels like a lot of you guys are super determined, and I feel like you're super stubborn as well. Like I feel like this is the week Pisces where no one can tell you anything really. But sometimes again we have to go through that process. Sometimes we can't just be listening to other people's opinion. We have to go with what we feel inside. And I feel like if you feel inside like the night and you're just driven towards what you want and you're just hungry for it, you're hungry for what you're desiring, you feel like you have to do it, then just go with it. Go with that feeling, again, as long as you're not hurting somebody or something like this. I can't encourage anything that ends up badly affecting you or badly affecting somebody else. But if it's one of those things where it's just something that maybe you've always dreamt of and you just have to see where it goes, then go for it. I would say definitely go for it, because regardless of whether it's successful, regardless of whether it's not, like I said, you would learn something valuable from it. It will still be a valuable experience. So peace and many blessings to you, Pisces. I'll be seeing you. Bye.